Well, hello. 'Tis Unclejona here again, drinking beers and doing reviews and all that kind of stuff. We're doing one today from this box, Angels of the North, Beer 52 box once again. Oh, I'm trying to get rid of some of these Beer 52 boxes so we can get onto some other reviews. Depends really what comes out of the bigger box that I've decanted into them as well, which yeah, doesn't always work. I put the magazine away because, unfortunately, Beer 52, in its infinite wisdom, doesn't seem to do as many reviews of the breweries that are actually in the box. And they don't actually do the yeah, the tasting notes. Well, they do, but they're online, hidden away on their website. Really difficult, in my humble opinion, to find. So Beer 52, I'm talking to you. Sort your website out, because there's no point in removing something from a magazine which is really easy to use, put it on the computer and hide it away. So you have to go through 2 or 3 different screens just to get to where you want to be. Anyway, rant over, let's have a look at the beer. So we are doing this one today, and hopefully, whoops, if I don't mess it up, there we go. Three Brothers Brewing Co. And this is called the Steel River Baltic Porter. That's 6.5% ABV. And that looks like a bridge. I'm sure it's going to tell us where we are. I know it's near Middlesbrough. So let's see if it says anything on here. Teesside, apparently. Okay. A Teesside tribute, swirling with smoky strength and steamboat smoothness. Experience the River Tees stout spirit and the Teesside's steel heart poured into every glass of this perfectly crafted porter. Stand the can in the fridge for a couple of hours, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know me, I haven't done that. I've only literally picked it out of the box, but it's blooming freezing at the moment, so should be all right. Brewed for Three Brothers by Full Circle. So they're up in Newcastle, which is kind of my neck of the woods, or should I say, my family's neck of the woods. Not in Newcastle itself, but up in Northumberland, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of us Jutes up there. So, you know, if you're a Jute, then shamon to you. And it's gone out of focus again. I don't mind when it focuses on my face, but it takes ages to focus on anything else. There we go. Yeah, so look at that. It's quite cool. There's the old bridge. Steel River Baltic Porter. Let's give this one a pressure test. It's got a bit of give in it, but the last couple of cans I've opened haven't been so good. So, well, they've been good, but we've just got huge heads on them. So this one is all right so far. See if we can open this properly. Oh, that's really stiff. What's going on here? There we go. That's weird. I thought that the tab thing was going to break off. That'd have been awful. That'd have been terrible, mate. Right, back on the old tulip once again. Let's go for a bit of a gentle pour. See what we get. Because this beer is slightly stronger at 6.5. You don't get a huge amount of head. That is looking pretty good, actually. I'm liking that. Quite a slow carbonation. Nice head, small packed bubbles. Over a finger, not as bad as 2. Call that a finger and a half. Oh, he says, dropping everything everywhere. Let's do one of these this time. Get my finger out of the way. Get my head out of the way. Pull that back. Open it up. Come on. Get in there. Get in there, son. And then, cheeky grin. For you. Just for you, dear viewer. Okay. some of you might think, well, what the hell is a Baltic porter got to do with Newcastle or Middlesbrough, wherever we're from? Don't know, but the Baltic states obviously are kind of, it's, think of it like Russian Imperial Stout. You know what they are, right? Really strong stouts. Baltic porters are kind of a step down from there, but still pretty strong. 6.5 is probably on the low side for a Baltic porter, and it's a porter, not a stout. That's going to confuse us anyway. But yeah, it's kind of in the middle ground from a normal stout, a normal porter. Stout porters are a bit stronger anyway, but don't get messed up in that kind of stuff. But it's not as strong alcohol wise as an imperial stout, which is cool. So let's see if we can see the colour of that head. It is off white. It's a beige, I would say. And I'm looking down here. We've got chocolate malt, crystal malt. Got some lager malt in there. Carafa 2, which is a dark malt, but not super dark, but you know, it's up there. And some wheat malt as well, which is kind of cool. Hops in here. This is interesting. We've got Magnum. We've got Mittelfrühe. Yeah, which is usually a German hop. And it is a malty bad boy. A little bit of sweetness in there too. There's kind of toffee, maybe caramel, you know, that dark, like cinder toffee, that kind of thing, you know, like the burnty one on the nose, but it definitely smells sweet, which is cool. And it's 6.5, so hopefully we balanced out quite nicely. Dear viewer, I'm going to ask you a favour. You know what I'm going to say if you're a regular viewer, but if you're not, I'm speaking to you now. Please think about subscribing to the channel. It does help me out. Click like as well. That does help me out. And leave a comment if you've got any questions or if you want to know anything. Leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Really does help me out if you do those kind of things. YouTube keeps changing what they like for people's content to be recognized by the the YouTube gods. And apparently I've been told clicking like and leaving comments, that's kind of one of the best ways to do things. And if you want to support the channel, click subscribe and then click the bell and you'll never miss another video. I tend to upload, forgot the word there, tend to upload every day anyway, so you know, just tune into Unclejona and you'll get more beer reviews. Cheers and beers. Whoa. Yes, instant hit of that burnt thing going on. Wow, and it's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be. It's definitely cinder toffee, even caramel. You know, that real dark caramel that gets stuck on the side of the pan. You've got to be careful that you don't melt your hands on that stuff if you're making some sort of toffee thing or burnt sugar thing. My God, that's really strong. We've also got dark malts there. We've got quite a good bitterness as well. The bitterness kind of merges in a little bit with the astringency from the malts. So it's difficult where to draw the line. But pardon me, dear viewer, that's what happens when you drink beer. Yeah, where does the hops finish and the malt bitterness begin? It's a difficult one. Oh, I thought I was going to hiccup then. My goodness. And we've even got some nice lacing. Not quite a dead straight line, as we like to have on this channel. But I think that's because the bubbles, I don't know if you can see in the bottom there, the bubbles are slightly larger than I would like, and they're causing a bit of an issue in the lacing. But at least, dear viewer, we have some lacing, which is fantastic news, because some people don't care about that at all. Other people, it's all they care about. I'm kind of in the middle. Let's dive in for some more. 6.5 as well. Proper. Oh, okay. Not so bad this time. I'm getting some coffee notes now. Coffee, toffee, almost like a coffee liqueur. That's going to sound a bit weird. Not from the alcohol point of view, but from the kind of bitterness. You know, if you know those sweets that you get for Christmas, those liqueur type sweets, and you've got the really dark, bitter chocolate that no one really likes to eat, and then you have lots left over. And I know we've got some downstairs at the moment. And you can have one or two, but you can't have loads of them like you would do with Quality Street. You can sit there and munch them all night. But with these ones, no. Even though they got a bit of a liqueur in them. Yeah, I like milk chocolate. Don't know about you guys. But yeah, that dark stuff. We do have some in the house. Ugh, and it never seems to get eaten. You know what I mean? But we keep buying it for some God only knows what the reason is. Right, so there we go. We've got a better line this time, but still kind of quite fat and weeping some lacing there. That looks really psychedelic, man. Look at that top one and then look at the bottom one. What are those things? Those dobbers. Those things hanging down like stalactites from a cave. My God, we're getting stalactites from our lacing of the glass. The finish on here as well is quite long. And sometimes Baltic porters have this kind of thing that reminds me of the sea, the Baltic Sea. And it's, yeah, kind of saltiness. I'm not getting that in this, but I am getting a long finish. Like I say, astringency there, coffee and dark chocolate, and a sort of burntness, which I don't know if I like, to be honest. Maybe that says to me maybe too much chocolate malt in there. Maybe that's why they use Carafa 2 and not Carafa 3, because Carafa 3 is a really dark one. They had to use a bit more, maybe, of the chocolate malts than the Carafa 2. I can kind of understand it, but there's an easier way of getting a really dark beer using slightly less malt. And that's using the really dark bad boys like Patent or, yeah, Carafa 3. And it gives more of a coffeeness. It does give some astringency, but it's over quite quickly. It's a bit like espresso coffee. It's like, whoa. The other thing, I'm getting a bit of substance. I'd say it's a medium body, but it's got that earthiness to it as well, which is good, by the way. I can't stand these really piss weak porter stroke stouts. It's just like, what is the point? This is not that, by the way. 6.5% is a good winter warmer kind of strength, and medium body is good. It's just perhaps a bit over astringent for the use of the malts. But then I don't know. Baltic porters tend to be that kind of way. They tend to be strong. They tend to grab you by the face and pull you in. Hey girls, don't have any naughty thoughts about your Unclejona. Oh Jesus, that sounded really perverted there. I apologise. And by the way, my name is Unclejona because my name is Jonna and I am an uncle. It is not for some weird pervy internet reason. Wash your eyes out with soap. Oh, dear viewer. Oh, those impure thoughts. Terrible. Could drive a man to drink, you know. Wow. Look at the lacing on the back as well. Really nice. Lots of it down here as well. Hmm. Yeah, so overall, not too bad. A little bit too burnt, a little bit too much astringency on the back end, on the aftertaste, shall we say? Yeah, a little bit too burnt, a little bit too much for me. Tis Unclejona here once again, drinking beers so you guys don't have to, so you can watch me drink them and see what I think, and maybe you can see what you think in the pleasant behind the scenes. Unlike me, I like to get my face out there for someone. God knows why, but I've decided that's the way I'm going to approach the world through the use of YouTube. So there we go. There's the Still River Baltic Porter from Three Brothers Brewing via, who was it? Full Circle, was it? I can't remember. Oh God. Anyone would think I just had a 6.5% beer. Full Circle Brewing. Yep. So we're talking Yorkshire via Northumberland. We are bringing counties of England together with the use of beer. Fantastic times we live in, isn't it, dear viewer? And while we're on the positive vibes, please remember that I'll be back with more beer reviews real soon.